Welcome to EntreProgrammers Podcast, the podcast for developreneurs, the podcast where you get to be a fly on the wall listening to real conversations of three developers trying to tackle the challenges they face as entrepreneurs.
All right, we're live. That was actually quick.
Google's getting faster.
Yeah, I want to be a pig farmer. It's one of those weeks. Oh, I'm so tired.
Why do you want to be a pig farmer?
Because I can't freaking get people to pay me.
Morning. And you think the pigs will be better?
Yeah, the pigs pay out when you slaughter them. So,
there may be
off, I can go.
There may be a metaphor in there that's useful for clients too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I have two sponsors, and I talked about the one sponsor that they hadn't submitted the invoices. Anyway, so I got one of them, but yeah, they decided to postpone paying the other one by a week, which, okay, whatever. Except that my other client, my other sponsor, who signed up for 3 months, and so I'm looking at more than $40,000 in sponsorship from them. They said that they would pay me in 45 days, and they still haven't paid me. And anyway, it's just I'm so freaking tired because I'm trying to I'm going down to Microsoft Ignite, and so I need to be able to eat while I'm down there.
Power bars.
I know, right? I might just.
I feel like Chuck's gonna be like, I'm gonna burn down the building. I'm gonna burn down
the problem is I live in this building.
If you don't pay me, I'm gonna burn down the building.
Well, that's the funny thing is the marketing agency is actually in Salt Lake, so I could do it and be back in time for dinner. So I've been bugging them, and they've been bugging their accounts payable department, and I have not. The accounts payable won't reply. They haven't replied or me.
Man.
And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. And then they're talking.
Yeah.
They're talking to me about renewing for Q4. And I think when they come back and say these are the shows we want to sponsor for Q4, I'm going to be like, that's nice. Pay up front.
Yeah.
Because I told them last time, look, I get paid up front. Everybody else pays me up front.
Yeah.
I might fudge it a week or two on long running sponsors if they're consistent. And they're like, so we worked it out, and I was like, okay, well, you got to pay me in 45 days because that's what they said that was as soon as they could do. And yeah, I'm kind of done with it. And the other thing is this: they represent a company that has sponsored me in the past, and I know a number of people there, including one of my former co-hosts on Ruby Rogues. And so I'm just gonna let them do. You know what? I'm just gonna go to the sponsoring company, and I may just say, look, you've got to deal with me directly because I am not dealing with these people anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep, it's that whole game. I don't know why they play this stupid game. Like, I mean, I know why, like with the accounting, but it's ridiculous.
Well, and I get that they have a process.
Well, yeah.
And I get that, that's kind of the way they operate. But if you tell me one thing and do another, and then I have to pay for it, I have a problem with that.
Yeah. Yep.
So
no, that's why just the pay in advance policy is so much better. I don't know. Like Josh, you weren't here when we were doing when Zephyr was sponsoring Simple Programmer, where you maybe caught the tail end of that.
Yeah, I think it was the tail end.
Yeah, I'm sure I talked about it on here too, and it was just like ridiculous, like to the point where finally I was just like, you guys know, and that's where we adopted the policy of pay up front. Like, we don't want your money.
I had that policy. I made
you had it. Yeah, exactly. So, but, and that's why you had the policy. That's why we have the policy is because people are assholes. They can't be trusted.
I don't understand why they can't just deliver. I mean, they said they could. So,
right. Let's say it's what was agreed upon. That's the thing, is that's the issue. It's not like, do you pay 45 days or 60 days later? It's like, what was agreed upon? Like that was always my biggest contention, is like, you said this. So
Yeah.
like, I don't give a fuck if you're like, we're gonna pay you in a year. Fine. If I agree to it and you pay me in a year, I'm not gonna bitch about it because I agreed to it. But
Right.
if you can't do what you said, then I can't trust you, and I'm not gonna do business with you. So
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that I haven't had any trouble finding sponsors. I mean, when I've been out there, actively prospecting, I haven't had any trouble finding sponsors. And so I'm just gonna, I have no doubt I can fill those spots. So that's the other thing is like, look, if you want the exposure that I offer, then you've got to make it worth it to me. And right now, it's not.
What if you sold the first month of Q1 or Q4 rather? Like basically, if you sold their spots.
Well, at this point, I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I've got. Yeah, that would be funny though. And then basically say, well, I hadn't been paid, so I assumed I wasn't sure I wanted to do it.
Actually, you should put in their spot. You should put in your own ad and be like, XYZ company has not yet paid their invoice. They're currently 45 days overdue. Go check them out.
Yeah, well, I think it's the marketing agency's fault. I don't think it's the client company's fault. Because the client company was always good about paying me.
Yeah. Well.
So, but yeah, it would be funny, but it would be a terrible thing to do.
Satisfying yet business destroying.
Yeah. Maybe if sponsors wouldn't like that, but
how are the book sales coming along, or the course sales?
So that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. So at the same time that this is all going on, PayPal decides that there's sketchy stuff going on with my bank account.
That's why you never leave more than 10 grand in that sucker.
So they partially suspended my account. So I had some money in there from the course sales. Yeah. And incidentally, I had one person buy the course at full price. And then I sold like 3 or 4 more copies of the book without really doing anything. Yeah. And so honestly, I think I need to just buckle down and just start giving people reasons to buy. But anyway, so all that money's in PayPal, and it would solve my problem short term until I get paid by the company that postponed their invoice a week, and hopefully get paid by this other company. But because they partially suspended my account, I can't remember what they called it, restricted maybe? They restricted my account. People can pay in, obviously, because, no problem there, right? We'll collect your money.
Right.
But you can't pay anybody else, and you can't pull the money out.
Have the money.
And so, it's like you need to submit a bank statement. And I'm like,
you should turn off your PayPal payment and only take through Stripe or something right now.
I should definitely do that. But yeah, so my account is limited, but that takes 5 to 7 days, which means that in the middle of me being in Orlando, I'll finally be able to pull my money out, theoretically. And that's if they approve it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And so it's just kind of all piled on because I don't have any way to pull the money out. And yeah, I'm really frustrated. I actually had to email. So Richard Campbell from NetRocks, I just emailed him and I said, hey, look, this is what's going on. It's a little bit ridiculous. But he just basically let me send him an invoice because he had to reimburse me for my airfare. And so I should have that money by Monday and I should be okay.
Yeah.
Because he just paid the invoice with his credit card. But
that's why sometimes a list is so powerful, because you can literally print money on demand sometimes when you get into a situation like this.
Yeah. But the problem is that most people want to pay via PayPal. So
if you don't give the option for PayPal, they will pay.
That's true. I think the majority.
You might lose some. Yeah, you might lose some transactions, but I would say 80% of them will still find a way to pay you.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is since I last emailed people about it, which was about a month ago, I've added a whole bunch more chapters. So I've added chapters about resumes and things like that. So
do you have your course ready to sell?
So the course is also in progress.
No, in the sense the sales page, not the course.
Oh yeah.
So sell it.
Yeah, I should. I think I will. And I think I'll just turn off PayPal and see if I can get people to pay me that way.
Yeah, just sell the damn course at a fire sale price or at a super early bird discount price, and you'll have the money in the bank tomorrow or by Monday.
Yep.
If you do a weekend sale, at least your list will allow you to go through the current crunch for sure.
And tell them the funny story of how you're gonna have to ask what's his name from .NetRocks to buy you lunch while you're there, because you're not gonna be.
I could do that. I could tongue in cheek basically be like, yeah. So I'm gonna be panhandling outside of Disney World.
Yeah.
It's going to be called the subject line will be "I can't buy my lunch sale."
There we go.
They've had internet marketing sales where the infamous one is "I can't pay my taxes" sale.
Yeah.
Taxes are due. I had no idea. Shit, I'm gonna just discount it so you can pay my taxes. Same thing. I can't buy lunch sale.
I should. I really should. And then it'll basically be, have you ever done something that you knew you shouldn't?
Well, though, but tell the story of the sponsor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have you ever done something you shouldn't?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, the story of the sponsor is great for this because it will infuriate people. Like there's people love a good injustice story, right? Like you know what I mean? They'll be on your side and they'll want to, do something to get to help in the situation, right?
It also keeps it from sounding like a charity, like you're begging, right?
It's like, look, I should have money. I do not have money.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. I think I will. I think I'll send that out today.
Yeah, and that'll be a good test for your course and the sales page and everything else goes as well.
Yeah.
But you got to keep it time limited, otherwise people will not buy.
Oh yeah. No, I'll turn it off by Monday.
You've got a built-in deadline, right? Because you need lunch on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be fasting on Monday.
I'll go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fasting on Monday for you to pay me by.
Tell them you'll send a picture of what you end up eating for lunch.
Oh, I should.
Based on how many people buy.
Or you'll be fasting.
What's funny is
if you make $100, it'll be a power bar. If you make $500, it'll be a T-bone.
Yeah, there we go.
How much is your course price point you have decided on right now?
So right now the course is available for $500.
It is available for sale right now?
Yeah. It's not done, but it's
How many people have bought it?
One.
How many emails have you sent up, Aaron?
Like 3. But again, the cart wasn't working, remember?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Once the cart started working, how many people landed on the carts? Or how many emails?
For the course?
Yeah.
Well, even when I did that, I sent them a link. Here's where you buy the book, and here's where you buy the course.
Right.
I think I'm going to send them to the landing page that says, here's the course, and here's what you get.
No. How many emails? What I'm asking is how many people...
like what was the click-through rate?
Yeah, how many people landed on the sales page for... How many clicks went to the sales page is what I'm asking. With a functional sales page.
On that last email?
Whatever. Functional sale. It doesn't matter how many emails, but functional sales page.
As opposed to an object-oriented sales page.
as opposed to the page which didn't have payments working.
We're just trying to get a conversion.
So that would be that last email that I sent then.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like about 250 people.
Ooh, yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's not good. The sales copy on it needs some work, but probably also because there was no urgency. You just said, hey, here's
the urgency biggest factor.
Urgency, if you just have a timer and saying the sale expires in and put that urgency in the email, you'll get a bunch of sales because of that, and your lunch problem will be solved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say knock it down to like $2.99 or $1.99.
Yeah, and urgency, without urgency, you're still not going to sell. So you have to put the
true.
urgency
in. Yep.
Deadline.
Yeah, and I can just explain to people I was going to do this massive launch. I may not do that, but yeah, I was waiting to launch when I had it finished.
Yeah, but even then, I think there's probably the sales page needs improvement, because that's pretty low conversion for your own audience. At 250, if you get one sale.
Well, that's the thing, is the only email I sent that went to a working sales page of any kind was the oops, the cart wasn't working before and now it's working, and the links went to basically the buy now. It didn't go to that landing page.
Yeah, that's right. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to sell a $500 product directly from the shopping cart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I think I might have a little better outcome now, because
that's the equivalent of walking up behind your customer and like clamping your hand over their eyes and like telling them to give you $500.
Yeah, there might be a few that go, "Oh, it's you, Chuck. Here's $500," but the majority of them won't.
Okay, fair. That makes sense now.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Is that I have a landing page that nobody has seen yet.
It's like half. Some
it's in
people
stealth
have
mode. Chuck's keeping that landing page in stealth mode.
Not on purpose.
Yeah. So now you're gonna have to remove PayPal from the cart.
Yeah, but that's not hard. I just turn it off in WooCommerce.
Yeah. And put a timer on it of some sort.
Yep.
And you'll be able to sell a bunch.
Yeah, I should put a timer on it.
Yeah, without timer, I mean, it's good, but that adds to the urgency. And the urgency should also be in the email, right? That the sale expires, the buy my lunch sale expires by 9 p.m. Sunday night or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and make it. You can make it an odd time. Like are you taking off for this? Are you leaving on Sunday or Monday?
Sunday night, 10.
Okay, make it whatever the time your plane takes off.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like 8:27.
Yep.
p.m. Pacific time or whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, when the wheels go up, I will be fasting.
Yeah.
I'll be living life John style.
Yeah, John just wouldn't eat. John would be like, meh, 3 days, I can do that. I can do it.
Yeah. No, I love it. I'm definitely going to pull that together when we get off this call.
Yeah.
And do like 3 emails, or at least, I would say.
4.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday 1, Sunday 2.
Yeah, I can do that too.
Yeah.
This will be fun.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is I can also sell it a little bit. Is right now the reason that I'm taking the red-eye flight is because my kids have a performance, or they're doing the kids singing in church program. So all the kids in our congregation are singing a bunch of songs. That's our church meeting basically on Sunday. And so I could say, hey, I stuck around to see my kids sing, and that means you have until tonight rather than this morning. I mean, just to personalize it a little bit. I'll find some tongue-in-cheek way of putting it up, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that way I can kind of create this narrative around it.
See, there's always an opportunity in the obstacle.
It doesn't make me feel better about the obstacle.
Well, it's a good obstacle. Now you'll actually do email sales funnel for almost like the first time, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like you've never written this kind of sales copy, like kind of deadline driven sales copy, which is very different from normal email copy.
Yeah, the closest I've come is to writing a page like this for a webinar or something,
Yeah.
which isn't the same thing because I'm not really in those ones. I wasn't really deeply trying to sell anybody anything.
Yeah, exactly. So there's
I
a
was trying
different
to
type
sell
of
them on
thing.
showing up.
Selling sponsors is different from selling on email. It's
Yeah.
good learning.
Slightly.
Speaking of which, how much did you guys pull on the Plural Sight?
Oh yeah.
So we did okay. Let's see. Affiliates. I'm gonna look what the latest is. So I did one more email last night.
Saw that.
So we ended up doing, let's see. So we did, still loading here. Loading. There's like a 12-hour delay on the reporting too, or at least a 12-hour delay. So I'm still not getting all of the sales. Let me see. So from the 10th. Yeah. Okay. So we're currently sitting at 8994, 8,994.
Net.
And so that's 118 conversions. So the conversion rate on the offer as a whole is 3.08, so 3.1%. And the EPC is 2.35.
Are you talking all of these are net numbers or gross numbers?
This is net. This is what we actually get.
Okay, so
Yeah.
around 9K net commission.
Yeah, so we did around 18,000 in sales.
Okay.
So it's about half of what we did last time, which seems to be the pattern. So when we reran the interview cake one, it was about half. We reran the productivity one, it was a little bit more than half, but still kind of like more towards that end of things. And then this has been about half. We would have made a lot more, but last time, so they started us, they've just kind of jerked us around with the commissions, and I'm kind of done at this point. Like it's just such a pain to work with them because they won't, the only time that we can actually convert for them is when they offer some kind of discount like this, which they won't do anything special for us. So pretty much this is the same, we ran this at the same time as other Plural Sight authors had the opportunity to run it, but nobody has 80,000 email subscribers like we do.
Yeah.
So you were
we
getting
have more
cannibalized.
reach.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were probably getting cannibalized, and also it's just like we don't have any control over when it happens. It's just like on their normal schedule. But so last time they had doubled our commissions. Last year they had doubled our commissions to ramp up our promotion of them, which we did. And then they're like, "Oh, great! I see that you did all this additional promotion for us and send us more traffic. We're getting rid of the double commissions now." So the last time they offered an extra bounty on these sales. And that was on top of our higher commission rate. So if that had been in place, we would have made like 18,000 off of this.
18.
Yeah, we made 45 last time around. We would have made 18 off of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it pretty much kind of closed. But yeah, I'm kind of done with because their attitude is like, "What have you done for me lately?" And like if you search, I doubt that there's anyone in the world except possibly Plural Sight who has done more for Plural Sight than John Sonmez. Like if you Google Plural Sight plus John Sonmez, what's that? If you Google Plural Sight plus John Sonmez, you get like 38,000 hits. Okay. We are getting credit, like it is the credit. We are getting credit for probably 3% of the traffic that John sends to Plural Sight. I mean, we're like between the books and the YouTube videos and all the interviews and the podcasts and on and on and on and on and on. The amount of direct type-in traffic that they get because of John is probably 10 times what we send them in affiliate traffic. And I'm just fed up with they keep telling us, oh, you can just we'll put your commissions back up, but we want you to commit to incremental exposure, which means they just want us to do another email promotion. Or take down, make simpleprogrammer.com a redirect to Plural Sight.
So we met with this guy, Robert Farrington, who's the owner of the College Investor. It's a big investing blog. You know him? You know the blog?
You've talked about it. You've talked about him before.
So he was talking about how with his affiliates, he's getting these tiered commissions. Like he's negotiated these deals where with the more sales he gets, the higher the commission goes. So every time if he hits a higher tier, he gets higher commissions. All the way, it starts from 150 an acquisition all the way to 500 an acquisition. And that pays out for all the past acquisitions as well, in that campaign. I wonder if you guys can do something like that with these guys.
That's an interesting idea. The problem is we've got what we've got. Well, the little bit of the problem is what we've got now is kind of, it's low enough that it's not really worth it. So I would have to I would have to find a way to double. They're not going to be. I'm not going to be able to go to them and go, okay, I want you to increase my current tier and then give me more tiers on top of that, right? I'm starting from kind of a low base point, and then it would be difficult. I've done a bunch of stuff to direct more traffic to Plural Sight from our site, and what happens is the conversion rate tanks.
Yeah.
Because you're getting lower and lower quality traffic, if that makes sense. So I can send them clicks. They also changed their commission structure so that you don't get paid for. Oh well, they lowered. It used to be that we would get paid $30, I think, for a trial, and now it's $5 for a trial. So that also really hurt us because it's really difficult to convert. It's a subscription business. It's really difficult. It's the hardest thing to sell. And then they're kind of, once you send them over to Plural Sight, you're at the mercy of Plural Sight's sales funnel.
At $5 per sign up is actually a worse offer than an Audible offer at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I told the guy, I was like, last month we made more money sending people to Amazon to buy USB mics and Kindle books than we did with Plural Sight. Well, almost as much money sending people to buy stuff on Amazon as we did sending them to Plural Sight. It was well, then John, I don't know what happened, but last month our clicks were half of what they usually are. I was back and he was like, well, you guys didn't promote us last month. And I'm like, we didn't do anything different. It was the same. We send them 3,000 to 3,500 clicks per month.
They're using Blueberry to manage their click count.
Yeah, there you go.
Numbers.
Yeah, so we're sending them 3,500 clicks a month.
What's the net revenue you're getting from it?
Last month, well, we get about $1,000 a month.
So 30 cents per click is what you're getting from that traffic.
I mean, if they were to buy this traffic, I'm going to go look. I bet you that if you bid on Plural Sight as a keyword, it would be would be $10 a click.
Not only that, you're sending very very targeted traffic. So you're basically giving away shit for free. 30 cents, man.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm actually tempted. I was joking, and I'm half tempted to just go in and I could do this on a temporary thing where I go in and make all of the Plural Sight links go to Udemy, and because they're all pretty links. I mean, I could do it, and I'd be like, hey, yo.
Udemy doesn't pay that well either, though. Unfortunately,
I know. It would be more out of spite than anything else.
But yeah, 30 cents.
Send me a list of your courses. I'll make competing courses. You can send them to me.
There you go. I like it.
I'll pay you better. I promise. And I can find people to make those courses.
course, Chuck, we'll have to send them straight to your shopping cart, so I don't know if it'll convert all that well.
So there's a couple of ways to look at this too. One of them is just to like look and see what the EPC is and what it needs to be, right, in order to do promotion, right? So
yeah,
like
our
EPC,
average EPC with them is 28 cents.
Well,
like pretty much exactly what Manny said.
When we do a promotion though, like that EPC for a non-promotion is within, you know.
When we do with this promotion, the EPC was $2.35, which is mediocre for us.
Which is the same as what we did probably for the productivity one, right?
It might have been better. I think the productivity one might have been better.
Yeah.
So
That's why
what's our EPC target? For doing promotion? I don't know. 350? Like,
I don't know. I don't have enough data to really...
Well, what makes it a good deal for you, right, is what, 350?
Maybe not a good metric though. Like EPC.
No,
EPC
this is why
a good metric.
This is why it's a good metric, is because you can work backwards from there. Because, right, we have the number for the EPC for this promotion. And what we can do is, like, let's say that our target is $3.50. We can go back to Plural Sight and say, look, here's what the EPC ended up being, right? This is, we need to generate from our list, like $3.50. So there's two ways we can do this. One, if you raise your commission up to X amount, that would have given us the $3.50 EPC on this promotion. So we know we could go forward and promote with that. Another possible alternative would be if you gave us some kind of exclusive bonus, right? Then that even with the current commission structure, if we had that, we probably would have hit this. We probably would have closed this many more sales, right? Or or if we had a custom landing page, or I don't know. But that kind of gives us options to work with for what our target is, rather than just give us more money.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, that's a angle for negotiation. That's what you're saying, right?
Yep.
Evaluate different
and give us more
deals,
money.
Right?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess this was probably worth doing, but it was pretty mediocre.
Probably worth doing, but you have to evaluate if their links are worth anything at that point in terms of putting them on your website at 30 cents per click.
Yeah, I don't really feel like they are. And we're like essentially sending people away from our...
Yeah, wouldn't you rather have at 30 cents per click? I would want that traffic, right? Anyone would want that traffic. It's targeted traffic. Wouldn't you rather have them in your own funnel, like maybe an email course or something like that you advertise that sells them?
It doesn't work that way though, because it's different things. Like we've tried this before where we've run our own ads, and you have to have multiple offerings based on what people want.
Yeah.
Right. It's the depth of the. It's like if you went into Walmart and they're like, well, fuck. Like people seem to like to buy this toilet paper. Let's just stock toilet paper. Fuck the other stuff. We're just gonna have toilet paper in here. That sells the best. People like the toilet paper. That's
not true. I mean, if you look at some of the biggest businesses in this space, they actually only sell their own products. They don't even sell everything. Like they basically sell very few products, not necessarily a lot. Everyone's different. I agree with you. Like Robert Farrington is a different model than some of the other guys. But I think I don't think you guys advertise your community at all. The community is something that only comes on email. But if there was a course, an email course that kind of drives them into the community, there is money to be made there. If that's as long as it's a different angle, is what I say. It doesn't have to be a different product. It's a different angle coming at, you market yourself as one. But the community, I don't think you advertise on the website, do you?
Not currently.
Yeah, so that probably is worth 30 cents per click, probably a whole lot more. Stuff like, I think it's worth a whole lot more if you guys continue to grow it.
Eventually it will be. Right now, I don't think it would be.
Not even 30 cents per click?
Mm-mm.
Dude, you gotta be kidding me.
Because I mean, like it's an email sale. I mean, I can only sell it. I can only sell it through email, and I can only sell it. I tried setting up. I tried an experiment where I have the wait list, right? And so whenever I promote it, I'm sending people to a landing page that has a join the wait list pop-up form, and then I for a while I set up a thank you page where I was giving people. I said, like, fill out this form if you want to join right now. Like, this is a waiting list. If you want to join right now, fill out this form, and I'll consider. I'll look at why you want in and everything. And I had probably 40 people or 50 people filled out that form, and nobody ended up buying. So right now, the conversion rate, we have 220 members out of 82,000 email subscribers. So it's such a small number at this point that to get a sign, I probably would get one sign up per 1,000 or one sign up per 2,000 at this point. So it's not really worth it. I'm building. It's something I have to build.
But I'm not just sold on the idea of sending them directly to a wait list as the only way to get the traffic into that door, right? You can also sell them through an email course saying what is the fastest way to fast track your career, and then put them through an email sequence that educates them about the community, and then sell them on that at the end of it through a deadline funnel or something, and you'll start to see your conversions precisely as to where they are, what percentage are buying or not buying. You only have 3 days, automated conversions, automated deadline funnel.
Which is fun, but you still can't click jack your own links. Like, it just doesn't work, because most of the links that are pointing to Plural Sight are saying in this Plural Sight course, right? Like, it's not like they're
right.
You know what I mean? So they're specifically, or the blog post involves something about Plural Sight, or it's about Plural Sight,
or at least about a specific technology. Like, it's like learn about doing continuous integration with Jenkins.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What we could do is we could look at, for example, some of the ones that are generating the highest number of clicks. Like, if we're sending them 3,000 clicks per month, what we could do is we could look at how to better convert those clicks by sending them to an email course or a landing page that says, when you sign up for Plural Sight, we'll give you $20, or we'll give you a copy of this book, or adding something to the deal to greatly increase the conversion. We could do something like that, or we could, as Chuck was saying, create our own course which most of these are my courses on Plural Sight anyway. So that's probably not the best idea, but we just can't take the traffic and send it somewhere else. It just won't be as effective, because it's not it's like someone's they're searching for this book, and you've got that link to it, and then when they click the link, it takes them to somewhere else, like, hey, you should read this other book, or education in general is good,
Or maybe Josh can course jack it. Josh can make copies of your course as Josh, the author of the courses. Put them on your library.
I'll just transcribe. I'll have the videos transcribed, and then I'll just lightly edit the PowerPoints, and then I will just do a reenactment of John's course.
Exactly, and put
dramatic reading
on the simple site, not Plural Sight.
Yes.
Yeah. At this point, you can click on the. I love it.
But yeah, Josh, I was wondering too, just with the whole promotion, I was wondering, what if we had offered people $20 additional off, just out of our own pocket, out of our commission, if we would have had a higher commission overall?
I doubt it. Would something like that would have to increase our conversion rate by 20% to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pretty tall order. So that's going from 3% to 4%. And it's only an additional, it's only $20 off is only, for the customer is only going from $199 to $179. Like it's not a big.
Yeah.
I think the dollar amount usually matters less than especially if you're within the pricing breakpoints. I think that the dollar amount matters less than the fact that there is a sale, a discount.
Yeah.
What if you had offered one of your own courses as part of the deal?
As a bonus?
Yeah.
Well, we kind of did that. So we had that bonus video with John. We could try doing it with like how to market yourself or something where it's like he has a huge, pretty large dollar value. I did that with the membership last time around, and it definitely bumped the price up, or definitely bumped the conversion rate up quite a bit.
Yeah. Also, I was thinking about another way of like promoting your membership would be to give a voucher to your existing customers of a course and say, hey, you guys get this $50 voucher for the next 6 days, 5 days, whatever, for our membership because you have already bought this something course. So then
that's actually, I really like that. Actually.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because then it's like convert your course purchase into a membership, kind of.
Yeah.
Like an upgrade opportunity.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I might have to try that next time, or maybe before I do my next membership push, I could try that.
Yeah.
Well, that is a membership push.
Well, it is, yeah, but I could still I could split it and do like customers versus non-customers.
Right.
Yeah. That'd be interesting conversion numbers to watch.
I guess, we would just have to make because currently the membership is only $99, so I could end up with a bunch of people that are effectively getting it for free.
No. You give them a voucher, like say for $40, $50 or something.
Yeah, like a half price.
So they get in, and then they're on the, then they're in the annual membership.
Right. Yeah, I like it. I'll have to do that. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that what I'm going to do though going forward is I'd like to, I don't know, I think I want to kind of try to, I guess I'll still do my one affiliate promotion a month, but if I don't do one, I'm not going to I'm going to emphasize the affiliate promotions less. What I would prefer to do would be, I have an ebook that I got from Jonathan Stark. So Jonathan is was he ever on the Freelancers show, Chuck?
Yeah, he's a regular on the Freelancers show.
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
I believe. So
he helps developers who want to get into freelancing, and he's got this really good book called the Freelancers Roadmap, and it's like a 100-page book, and it's basically it's like all the stuff we talk about on this show. It's like a very condensed version of what you need to know to market yourself as a freelancer and get set up. So I got him. I'm going to give that away to the members free. Like I negotiated with him so that we're going to do a one-time offer for his book to the list. Normally he sells it for $49. We're going to sell it for $29. And then that's going to basically be a royalty fee. I'm going to split that with him. So it'll be an affiliate promotion, but I'll be sending people to our shopping cart, give him half of it, and then I will get half of it, and we'll be able to give away his book to our members. So it'll become another resource inside the membership for people. And that way I can kind of start to build a library of resources for the members while also doing some affiliate promotions. So we're generating some good one-time sales once a month to supplement our income. So I want to try to do more of that and less going forward and less of the affiliate. So it's a little bit more of the AppSumo model that we've talked about versus a pure affiliate promotion. I think I'm going to try it in the future, try to go more in that direction.
That makes sense.
AppSumo is all affiliate promotion. What do you?
Well,
how do you...
yeah, it kind of is, but you're also buying from them. Like you're going, like they negotiate the deal, then you buy the deal from them versus me sending someone to someone else's site.
That gets complicated pretty quickly. I mean,
It
you need
does,
a
but
software.
we wouldn't
you need
make
a
it
software
complicated.
to support that, right?
It wouldn't. I wouldn't have to make it complicated though. I actually have a plugin for WooCommerce that allows me to set up anyone as an author, and they will automatically get a percentage-based payout every month of their sales through our store.
Oh wow, what's that called?
I think it's called WooCommerce Authors or something like that. Let me look. Yeah, it's really sweet. I was so excited because I have to pay. We have the guy that did the JavaScript course for us, and I was having to log in every month and pay him. And it was like, it takes like 2 minutes, but it's so annoying. And I was just envisioning like having 10 authors and having to do this and having definitely something you'd want to outsource. But this plugin, let me see what it's called.
But their content is hosted on your.
Yes. Yeah, we have his content in Podia, and then our checkout. We're using our checkout for it. Product vendors.
That sounds
Set up
pretty.
a
That's good for a few here and there, but it becomes pretty complicated if you have all of them hosted on your end. Now you're becoming a different kind of business.
Not necessarily, because I mean, people come in and buy, and the system just automatically sends them.
That's not the problem. Like the hosting and the hooks and the whole.
Yeah, well, I've been using because I'm looking at doing something very similar, and I'm thinking that I'm just going to host it all on devchat.tv.
Man, what do you mean? Like not even use a membership site?
Well, I have WooCommerce memberships already installed, and so I could just set up WP Courseware, and it would just restrict it based on their membership or what they bought.
Yeah, I mean, it is complicated, Manny, but it's not any more complicated than having our own courses.
Yeah, the technology end you have to solve anyway.
Yeah.
So how do you? I'm curious, Josh. How do you arrange those deals? Do you have a contract that they sign, or?
I've only done one, so I mean,
that's one more than me.
Well, no, we so with the JavaScript one, yeah, we did have like an author agreement. It was like a short little 2-page thing. It just spelled out the terms and what we were going to do and what the other person was going to do. And I mean, basically he just gave us all the files and we handled the rest. So it was pretty straightforward. Right. And then we paid him, I think it was like 15% or something. So
yeah, because I have a handful of people that I would like to reach out to. I mean, Josh Duty is one of them with my course. Mm-hmm. I'd love to just include his book in there. And so if I can set up an vendor, blah, 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 whatever, right? And so whenever somebody buys it, it just gets that cut sent to them automatically.
You could do that with this. You can split up a product with multiple vendors on it, I think, and then just pay them a percentage.
And then there's another guy who's done a number of courses.
It would be better. It would be better if you could negotiate with them to just pay a one-time fee. Yeah. A lot of times, because otherwise, because like if you could pay them a lump sum,
that's a good idea too.
It is a little bit more risky on your part.
That's way better. If you know the marketing, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but if I can go to them and basically say, I'd like to pay a distribution fee, and I'll pay you this much over this amount of time, and then I can just continue to sell your course.
Yeah.
I would also want to build something in for updates, right? So if it's a course on a particular technology, I'll pay you this much more to, periodically update the course.
Yeah.
And just have that rate pre-negotiated.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. It's something I'm going to try out. We'll have to see how it pans out. It definitely gets more complicated, like Manny was saying, because anytime you're involved, but anytime you're involving more than one person, when you're no longer the guru making the course and marketing the course yourself, like it's going to get pretty hairy.
But the thing is I already own the marketing engine and lining this stuff up, at least for me, and you're in the same boat mostly.
Right.
It's a lot easier to line that up and then just put together the rest of the marketing as opposed to trying to come up with a course yourself. That's a lot more work.
Depends, different kinds of pain.
Manny the skeptic.
No, I'm not skeptic. I mean, this model is the Plural Sight model, or even Dan Fagella, who's done it. I don't know if you've heard that interview. I keep talking about that interview that I sent you guys earlier. That's a really good interview. He talks exactly about that. He basically started bringing in new instructors into his martial art thing. All he did was write email copy for selling those courses. And he literally did not pay anyone any commission. It was all straight up, I'm just hiring you for 10 hours to do this course. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way you're taking the risk off of their hand. You're saying you're a developer, you make $80 an hour. I'll pay you $200 an hour for the next 10 hours or 20 hours. Do this course for me, and then we're good.
I think that the problem with that in our market is that, well, with specifically, so he had a, you need to have a really finely tuned machine for creating courses, because most people, so it's different. Like if you're a martial arts instructor, right? You're used to standing up in the front of a room, teaching people how to do stuff. So you can just kind of do your thing. With what we do, you're getting people, this is what I've learned working with Jason. So Jason is a coach. He's excellent at one-on-one interaction with people. So the process of building this course with him has been a lot harder than I thought, because I am having to extract. I found that I've had to extract the knowledge from his head. What he does is he comes in and he does alchemy, where he's like, he asks questions and then comes up with the solution on the fly. And if you just tell him tell me everything you know, you don't get the same level of depth that you get when you're working with somebody. So what we've actually come up with, and then also he's not very good at, he's okay at video, but he's not great at video.
Well, you take whatever guidelines John got from Simple Programmer, from
Plural Sight.
Plural Sight. Take those and use those, because that's, I think, is a good enough starting point.
Yeah, but it's helpful, but it's a skill. It's going to take Jason 300 hours to get good at video. It's not going to happen from recording 10 hours of video.
It doesn't have to be in front of camera.
Yeah, but
what do you mean?
you can do PowerPoints. You can do mind
Well,
maps.
no, yeah, I know, but the skill of organizing the content into a video friendly format, and then being able to present it in a way that's engaging, is much more difficult than I anticipated. And I think that for a lot of developers, that's going to be a major hurdle.
Is interviewing the guy, having 20 questions or 100 questions.
Yeah.
You talk about all of them, and then you put them together.
Yes.
So he only answers for 4 hours or 8 hours, and he's done, and you pay him for the 8 hours. And now you go to the back end to your editor to put all of this together in a course format. Because interviews sell a course. We've tested that. It actually works.
That's the direction I think we're going to have to go with this. So what I've done is I had him. So my initial idea was okay, Jason, I want to do a 21-day course. I want to do 5 to 10 minute video lesson every day, where we give them an important concept, and then they have an exercise to do at the end, and they do that every day for 21 days. Complete train wreck. It was just not clicking for Jason. So then we switched the format. And we were okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do weekly webinars. Okay. So every Monday we'll do a live webinar for 60 to 90 minutes. I will interview you, Jason, and it'll be more of a live interaction type of scenario, where he's really strong and comes across really, really well. And then we'll still do some daily lessons. We're still going to do daily lessons, but they're shorter videos that are more of a demo, where he's screen sharing and doing kind of a live case study. Even with those, I found that he was doing pretty well, but it wasn't the depth. I didn't feel like the depth of his knowledge was coming out. So what I did was I actually went in and watched his videos, and then I created a written lesson from the videos that basically summarized everything in the video and summarized what I've learned from talking to Jason about that particular part of the topic.
Mhm.
And that seems to be working really, really well. So the videos have almost become more of like a rough draft or a brain dump. And then we're translating that into a written format. And that actually seems to be like it's working.
Have you guys pre-sold this course?
I did a tiny pre-sale. I sent out an email to about 6,000 people, offering an early bird type of discount. So we were going to sell it for $199. I offered it for $49 just to see what and we got a pretty good uptake on it. We sold 6 from that one email, and I was able to project that out and like kind of get an idea of what we would make with a full launch. So the demand's there. I'm pretty sure that the demand's there. It's also, I mean, Interview Cake was our best promotion ever. So I know that the interest is there. It's just a matter of getting, and Jason's content is really good. I mean, like this is going to be, I think what we're going to do is probably iterate on this 2 or 3 times, and just keep making it better, get feedback on it, run it 2 or 3 times, and it's going to be like world class. Like it's going to be.
Have you considered the possibility of like just selling a series of 4 live webinars?
Of what? Of
live webinars, like 4 live webinars that you guys sell, and then you can sell the recordings. So then you minimize the work you have to do for all of this.
I did try that. I did try that once with the LinkedIn webinar, and it bombed.
Well,
that
it's not that the
particular
webinar
topic
was the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe the LinkedIn was the problem, right?
It's possible, yeah. Every time we've done the webinars seem to be, we've done promotions for when our sponsors promote webinars on our email list. The clicks are like 1/3 of what they are when it's like an ebook or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it doesn't really convert that well because it's so time bound. I think.
Time bound is a problem.
But I mean, I do really like I think to me the model that makes the most sense is probably like interviewing people and then building a course off of that.
Yeah.
If you can get the trouble is with that is I think like to really get the depth, you either have to work with somebody who really has already done the deep digging into themselves. Like when you write a book, right? When you sit down to write a book, you don't actually know what you're going to say. It's the process of writing the book actually brings it out of you and helps you systematize things and actually helps you synthesize ideas in a way that you don't get if you just sit down and talk it through. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening with this course. Like Jason and I are kind of collaborating on it, and it's going to be much better in the end for having gone through this process. Like it's very tedious, but it's going to be much better in the end than it would have been if we had just sat down and talked for 3 hours.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But in terms of like the total value delivered to the customer, I think it's the 80-20. Like we're talking the last 20% improvement.
I disagree actually. Like I think that the part that there's the information and then there's the systems and that allow you to apply the information.
Yes.
And that's what we're working through. It's like it's not just like we're not just like refining the wording of it. We're like thinking, okay, how do we structure this so that they can actually do it and it actually makes a difference for them?
Right.
But it's been a ton of work. So I'm really we'll see. We're going to launch it next weekend, basically. So we'll see how it goes.
To the whole list.
I will say that I really do love the idea though of paying somebody for their time, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Get somebody who's done a bunch of workshops on a topic or something, and then just pay them essentially to show up and teach it. Somebody
like Jonathan Stark could do that. Because he's already been through this process a bunch of times, and he really knows what he's teaching.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking like I could do one on React Native with Ned or Dabbit because he's done a bunch of those workshops and just things like that. But yeah, otherwise, I definitely see where you're coming from, Josh, in that, yeah, you might need to shepherd them along a little bit because they're not thinking in terms of workshops, and it's easy to just show up and, give out whatever knowledge the person needs at the time once you understand what the problem is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot easier to tailor make a solution for somebody on the spot than it is to make your advice more broadly applicable.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been doing, so I spent a big chunk of the last week interviewing his former students. So he gave me the names of 20 people that he's mentored, and I've gotten interviews with 10 of them so far. So it's been very helpful, kind of like audience research, and then also some of the stories I'm just literally like transcribing into the emails. So he had one student of his, lady named Jessica. She started working with him because she had an interview with Twilio coming up in a week. She was panicking, and then she walked into the interview, and their prep work they'd figured out four of the 10 questions. So she knew 40% of the interview cold.
Oh wow!
And she rocked it. So then that's the exact process that we're going to be taking people through. Is what he did with her.
Is this basically the funnel that John's been talking about, from like the top interviewing questions, top programming?
No, but that's coincidentally, part of the reason I've been having the interview content created because I knew it was such a big topic for our audience. And now we've got that page that's like sitting at number 2 on Google for programming interview.
Yeah.
So we can potentially, once we have this course launched, if it goes well, then I'm going to look at how we can turn that into a funnel for this course and just have it run.
Is that teaching programming interview questions, or just interview in general, like how to deal with interviews in general?
It is not. There's going to be a section on coding interviews. There's going to be a section on technical preparation, but a lot of it's going to be overall interview strategies, how to research the company ahead of time so you can figure out a lot of one of the biggest questions that people, or the biggest problems that people have around interviews is they don't know how to decide what they need to know to prepare. So Jessica had this perfect section in her story where she started to prepare on her own, and somebody sent her a bunch of coding challenges. So she tried 3 coding challenges in a row and bombed all of them. And then she said she sat there in silence for 20 minutes. She's like, I'm screwed. And then so there's cracking the coding interview, right? Which is all the data structures and algorithm stuff. And then there's a sea of blog posts out there about the top 10 interviewing tips. And there's nothing in between.
Oh,
and
really?
So not really, no. So what we're trying to do is show them, all right, here's how here are the steps to narrow down what you actually need to know for this specific interview so that you can focus on preparing for that and not just try to just review everything you know about programming. And because that's the kind of the boiling the ocean problem is what people run into. They just get they don't know where to even start to prepare. So that's what this course is looking to provide. And then also sort of mental preparation the week of and the day before and the day of, and how to get how to get your game face on, how to bounce back from a bad interview, how to learn from every interview that you do so you get better.
Right.
So
I'm writing.
It's really good. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I think on the show before, yeah.
I think I think it's gonna be really, really good. And I think it's going to take us 2 or 3 iterations through it to really nail it, but it's going to be. I think it'll become a flagship for us if I play my cards right.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can still sell JSON services while you make 50% of it or something like that. Commissions.
Yeah, I might try. One thing I want to try from that blog post is selling a pack of 3, just as a quick way to test out the traffic. Selling a pack of 3 mock coding interviews with JSON. Probably only 20% of the people will ever use even one of them. So it's kind of like a gym membership model where you can get it's like still selling your time, but you can actually get a lot of leverage on it because people they'll buy it just to have it in their back pocket, but they won't actually end up using them. Yeah. So I might try that out.
Yep.
John's awfully quiet. He's preparing for some interview questions.
Yes. I'm dying after this. I don't know what it is. Like, I'd signed up for a marathon, so I've been running my ass off. And then I got sick. Yeah, I don't know why I signed up for another marathon, but I've been running like 50 miles a week.
I've been. You tried garlic, chewing raw garlic?
That'll wake you up.
that sounds so.
No.
Never mind.
It's pretty hardcore, but you only do it before you go to bed, and it helps with the cough, for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, the cough hasn't been too bad.
Also eliminates any and all marriage problems you may have because you no longer have a spouse.
Eliminates any problem
on me.
How was Thrive conference?
It was good. We met Jesse Itzler, so that was cool. That's like the highlight of the.
Yeah. Do you guys know Jesse Itzler?
Oh yeah. Remind me. I feel like I do, and I'm.
Okay, I'm not going to remind you the conventional way because that's how most people would know him. But he's the founder of Marquee Jets. And founder of Zico Coconut Water.
Yeah. Okay, I thought that's who you were talking about.
The owner of Atlanta Hawks, or one of the owners of Atlanta Hawks, and the husband of Sarah Blakely. Yeah.
And the author of the
Living with the Seal.
Yeah.
Living with the Seal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's who you were talking about, but
yeah, that's him.
Cool. He sounds like somebody who would chew garlic.
He'd do anything. Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys who would do anything. He's like one of those crazy mofos. Like he's always into crazy shit. Like that's his life, more or less.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was good. It was good. It was definitely tough doing the freaking running 9 miles on treadmill on Saturday and 19 on Sunday. I'm pretty wiped out. So I got to do 10 tomorrow and then 20 on Sunday.
Yikes.
Yeah. Fun. I don't know why I signed up for this shit, but. Oh, did you guys see Create Space is finally merging with KDP with Kindle?
What is that? Any idea what it's going to look like?
They're going to move the books over, and supposedly you'll have all of the good stuff about Create Space on the Kindle, one place to manage it, and you'll be able to actually use the Kindle paid advertising for print books.
Okay.
So that could up our print book sales because we could use paid advertising there. And essentially, I guess that would just give us 2 slots in the paid to sponsored books. So
when's your book coming out?
Which one?
Bulldog Mindset.
Once I read it. I got it. I still got to work through the proposal and stuff for it. Yeah.
So have you decided how that's going to work? Are you going to go for a real an actual publisher on that one?
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna aim for a big 5 publisher on that one.
Okay.
I think it just makes sense.
Manning's a big 5, right? Big
No.
5 publishing.
Who is?
Manning.
Who's that?
When you say big 5, who are you thinking?
What is it? What is the big 5? It's like
Penguin?
Penguin,
Random
Random House, Random House, Bandom. Who else? Is Wiley?
Macmillan?
I just
McMillan.
I just did a Google search. It says, oh wait, no, that's something else.
This could be like a Family Feud question. We
Patches,
surveyed 100
HarperCollins,
people for the
Macmillan,
biggest 5 publishers.
Penguin House,
They
Penguin
said,
Random House, Simon and Schuster.
Oh, yeah. Simon Schuster
yeah.
is big in personal development.
yeah. And the novelrank.com went under.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
just
asked
got
the
it.
guy how much he wants for it.
Oh, did you?
What his page views are? He just got back. He said I've had a few page views, not really useful considering that based on the service running, the value in the domain is mostly for SEO and positive brand awareness. But prior to shutdown, 16,000 unique page views per day. Currently at 2,000.
Oh, God.
That's not much coming through there.
Yeah,
We could probably pick it up for dirt cheap, but what would we do with it?
yeah. I
I've
don't
got a
know.
few ideas of how to like resurrect the service and still.
What is the website about?
I mean, it would make sense. Like if you had a business around like helping people launch their books or something, that would actually be a great domain name for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really. I kind of that was a very good cautionary tale on like building your business, building a huge business on something, or building your main business around something that piggybacks off of somebody else.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
So there's this service that we use to track the price of the sales of the book called Novel Rink, and it was they were able to pull Amazon API data and track sales on product. So we were able to see it was way better than Amazon's reporting, and you could see trends over time and everything. And he just got a cease and desist letter from Amazon saying that he's improperly using the data, and they're forcing him to. So he was like, in the email, he's like, "I know you're probably sad about this. Like, this was my entire business and my entire livelihood, and I'm not happy about it either." So it was like, oh man, that's just
That sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, they shut down his affiliate account, so it's like, I don't know. There's ways around it. Like,
Well, I
Well-
think they shut off his access to the data too, though.
the data. Yeah, that's the
I
problem.
don't think so. I think they just shut down his affiliate account.
Well, he's illegally using the data, so he can't
Oh
use
well,
the data.
it says as well as our API access. So,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
it was through the same account. So,
This is kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like, building. It's like building a business that's like works off of Twitter's API. That's like your whole business is a tweet bot thingy that works off of Twitter's API. Like that's just, you're just waiting to get slapped.
Well, and
Yeah,
Twitter
man, but,
actually did
I mean-
shut down some of the Twitter
Yeah, they
clients
did.
that were out
Yep.
there. a few
I mean,
years
the-
ago.
They massacred them.
yeah.
Yes and no, because I mean, shit. Like, there are people who have built really big businesses off of someone's data and APIs, and they've been able to
Yeah.
survive that window where they made their money. This guy probably kind of wiped out before he was able to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is you're one step away from them deciding they don't want you to do that anymore, and then
Yeah.
they
I mean, that is happening on Facebook ads every fucking day.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if
people
your
are
entire business runs off of Facebook ads, like that's,
But people still making millions and tens of millions on Facebook ads from Black Hat and walking away from that.
yeah. But this guy's trying to make an ongoing living on it. And
Yeah,
that's the
he's
thing.
fucked.
There's a way to make this work though. Just have to think. But I think also one of the things was like I mean, if on that page, like there was actually like when you went to Novel Rink, like what it should have done was it should have had a bunch of suggested books, like all over using the Amazon API, right, for suggested products to click on, right? Because then what would happen is that Amazon wouldn't be like, oh, like people are just clicking their own book, like, you know what I mean? That's not being used to sell, because the issue is like they don't want you using the API to build a business off of, right? That doesn't generate them any business. It's not bringing new people to Amazon or to new products or to buy products. But if you're actually pulling affiliate sales because you're actually advertising through the Amazon API, then even though you're also doing this other thing, it's much more likely to get overlooked, right? So if I were to, that's how I would bring it back, is to do something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a few other things that you could do. You just have to brainstorm it.
What's he gonna? Man, that sucks for him. But then it's also similar to, you can make the argument that anyone who's building a business on any social media borrowed land is in similar situation. Anytime Twitter can come down on you, or Instagram can come down on you, or YouTube can come down on you, and all those things can just shellac you, and you're done for no good reason. For no good reason. We've seen this before, right?
Yep.
Facebook is basically like Facebook fan pages and all that crap is like up to nothing now. What used to be like big driver of traffic. Who knows when YouTube says, okay, it's all pay per play, or Instagram says it's all pay per play.
The important thing is to just remember that basically anytime you're living on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Anytime you're building off of something like that, where it's like Twitter, you know, any of the social media platforms, the joyride's going to come to an end. So you've got to be feeding it into something that's more durable.
Yeah. It could end any day.
Anyway.
Like Alex Jones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do we want to get into
but
politics on this one?
He'll be able to write a new book, and that yeah, he's writing a book right now. There's no doubt about it, right? I mean, that's the first thing that you're doing in this case, and that will be like #1 New York Times bestseller for sure. Like that'll be, he'll do fine. The whole thing will end up being a net win for him, right? As long as he's smart, which he is. So
you're making a big assumption there.
He'll make a lot more money than this. Yeah. Anyone who reaches that level of success is always way smarter than you think. Always.
He's a really good example of. He's a really good example, though, of someone who didn't put all his eggs in that basket. I mean, like,
true, he was diversified
on all the different social media platforms.
Just not in the message.
They all shut him down.
Yeah, they did, but he still has his website. He still has his email list.
You assume he has an email list.
He can publish books. I'm pretty sure he does.
Let's go to his website. Check it out. Infowars.com. Let's see. Dude, just because we do email marketing doesn't mean everyone knows there's a newsletter.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't have half a million people on his.
Josh is like tiptoeing because he's already on his newsletter and he reads his newsletter every single day.
No, actually, no, I don't. I am not tiptoeing. I'm a proud conservative, but I think that he is. I do not like the conspiracy theory stuff. I think that is way off the deep end. So,
Josh secretly reads all his emails and survival life emails.
Oh man, I had a couple opportunities to get into the survival niche, and I deliberately did not do it because I'm like, this will screw with my head. Like, I could definitely get sucked into
Writing copy.
There's a little bit of prepper in me, and I could definitely get if I allowed myself to go down that path, I could definitely be in the backyard digging a bunker. Just like it could
Dude,
I could definitely see my.
You could go to his store, and the first thing is preparedness. Survival life. That's what they sell, man. Yeah. There's something about conservative and survival. It's like very tied together.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it is the self-reliance. So not wanting to be tied to anything. So
preparedness. Yeah, you can see everything. Freeze dryer, seed center, water filtration. Man, he might be one of the biggest affiliates of Ryan Dice and Survival Life.
Or was.
He still might be. I mean, he probably his traffic on the website has probably gone through the roof now since the last whatever happened.
Yeah. But I mean, the big problem with the big problem though is, I mean, you really can't. It's very difficult to build a business online that is truly resilient because the big gorilla is Google.
Ooh.
And Google controls. I've looked into it. Google controls 70 to 80% of my email list.
Yeah.
Because 70 to 80% of our email subscribers are using Gmail. So if they decide that they don't like Simple Programmer anymore, I can't reach them. And if they decide not to send us traffic anymore, like we're done. Like that's game over. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult. Like with an internet business, there's not really a good way to truly.
Okay.
The big companies control so much of between Google, Facebook, and Apple, and Amazon.
Take a wild guess. What's his monthly traffic?
Who? Alex Jones?
Yeah.
10 million.
That sounds about right. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe like 15 million.
Yeah. 20 and now 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't think he's hurting too bad.
No, he's not.
No.
I mean, depends on
you
how
can get into the fairness aspect of it and whether or not they should do it, but I mean, they own those platforms, so
yeah.
There's a lot of people complaining about fairness on YouTube and all that stuff all the time.
Oh yeah.
That's why that chick went ballistic and started shooting because she didn't like the fairness aspect of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's how it goes. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually a little torn because on one hand, I'm definitely a proponent of companies having the right to do whatever they want, but then we're also at the point now where Google basically has a monopoly on the world of knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's troubling. I think that should be troubling for anyone. So, not really sure.
I would agree with that.
Yep.
But until the monopoly is broken, they have the right to do whatever the fuck they want.
They do.
Yep.
Right? The original conservative, John D. Rockefeller, not the original, but one of the many, he built Standard Oil into the biggest monopoly the world has ever seen. He did whatever the fuck he wanted, taking out all companies whichever way he wanted. For the longest time, nobody did anything. So.
Yep. Thoughts?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
We've kind of veered into that direction already.
Yeah.
I started doing Pomodoros again this week. I guess that's my thought. So for me, Pomodoros are most useful when I have a big project that requires a lot of thought that I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I have the sales page for the launch that I've been needing to get done. And I've been putting it off. And so yesterday I was like, I was falling into the Slack email loop, where I can feel productive and not, actually make any real progress on anything important.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, like yesterday afternoon, I was like, okay, I need to get back to Pomodoros. I got more done yesterday afternoon than I had all week. So it's very effective. Use it.
I'm too tired to think, so.
Let's see. I'll make mine. This was kind of similar to what Manny and I were talking about on our airplane trip over to Thrive, which was this like idea of having the why. But I'll be more specific and say like have an exact why, right, or a near term or immediate why, a purpose for doing a thing. So when we were at Thrive, when I was in Vegas, and I was like, deciding whether or not to run the 19-mile run on the treadmill for 3 hours and 40 minutes, right? I think had I not been preparing for the marathon and had a schedule that said, this day you need to run 19 miles, I think I probably wouldn't have run the 19 miles, right? I might not have run at all. I might have like said in my mind, like if I were just saying, well, I'm going to run a marathon, I'm kind of training for it, and when I'm ready, I'll run one. Or if I said, I'm just doing my running, and today I'm supposed to run, so many miles. But because I had a schedule that said today's workout is 19 miles, this is what you need to do, it made me do it, right? And so I think under other like that was a powerful enough like immediate why to force me to do something when I was getting sick. So I was sick pretty much, and I was tired, and it was just like horrible circumstances. Like it was like 9 o'clock at night, and I had to run for 3 hours, almost 4 hours. But I did it simply because the schedule said this is what you need to do today, and so it had to be done. And so sometimes just like having something like that is enough to, again, I think it kind of relates back to what you said with the Pomodoro. Is some of the reason why that technique is so effective is because you know exactly what you're supposed to do right now at this time today. It's like, I'm supposed to get these 4 Pomodori done or whatever it is, and this is the task. And so if you subscribe to that and you believe that, then you're more likely to accomplish that. You're taking the judgment and the willpower aspect out of it largely. So that's my thought.
Yeah, I think my thought is mostly around, just this week's been kind of rough. I got 2,000 words written in my book instead of 5,000, so I gotta make that up and things like that, along the lines of what John's saying. But, you just gotta keep going. It feels like sometimes it's like just, that's it. That's kind of the end of the line, and it almost never is.
Yeah.
So, just get in there, get disciplined, get at it, and own it.
Mine is pretty tactical here, which is about syndicating your content. In the sense, I'm becoming more and more of a proponent of whatever content I put out there should be on every possible media outlet, rather than being dependent on one. And not only that, because my brain power is used for creating content. That is the most expensive brain power I have, or most expensive resource I have. Now, if I can hire people to syndicate and do all the work at much cheaper price, that's like a really high leverage point compared to whatever I can try to do it all by myself. So when my content, like if it's YouTube content that becomes a podcast and becomes a blog post and becomes a infographic or becomes a Instagram or tweet or whatever, that's working. If you're in, that's what I'm trying to create systems around with my employees right now, to really get that going at a really fast pace. So I feel almost in some bringing in double, triple the returns of what just YouTube will do for me. I know it's hardly a thought. It's just a rambling at this point. But
That's all we all do, really. So.
And
my other thought is that Josh is getting in the book summary space without us knowing about it. Already got books lined up
Manny,
behind.
I was just telling you, what I was trying to say when my mic wasn't working was that I just do what everybody else does, which is I buy them and stick them on the shelf back there and don't read them. So you're safe.
You're not going to do here in my garage.
I was going to say, Josh, that's a pretty weak library right there.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I've gotten rid of most of my. I read almost all those books back then. But yeah, that's my library. I've spent $10,000 on that library right there, and it's the best money I've ever spent.
I can't even see what books are on it. So.
You know what he likes more than anything else? Knowledge. And that's all the knowledge he has.
You could put all of the knowledge I have in 8 books. 2 of them are John's. So
there we go.
I was going to say, are they short books?
They're copies of the same book in different formats, in different languages.
And the crayon pictures are awesome.
Yes, they are.
All right, guys.
All right.
See ya next time. Or I think I might be gone because I'm going to be in Orlando. So, and Chuck will be in Orlando probably.
I will be in Orlando. I will try and make it because I don't fly out until Friday afternoon. So
hey, Chuck will be in Orlando only if he makes the sale happen.
Right, exactly.
True.
No. I will
Chuck
be in
may just
Orlando.
be
Whether or
really
not I'm
hungry.
eating, that's another.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He may just be really loopy and hungry.
Yeah,
So,
honestly,
it's like, hey, come here with you with the peanuts. Yeah, I'm gonna need some pretzels. Give me the pretzels. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
yeah.
I'm sure at the conference there's always some sort of free bars and free food, you know.
Yeah.
Well, the conference usually provides lunch.
Listen, bitch, give me the pretzels. I ain't got time for this shit. Give me the fucking pretzels. Or you're gonna have to sit down.
My emails didn't hit. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll be probably like completely. Well, actually, I might not even be here because we're closing on our house. Or we sold our old house. We're closing on that on Friday, and then that's also like the day before the launch. So I will probably be stressed out beyond belief. So
no meeting next Friday then?
I don't know. I mean, let's say yes for now, and then if I can't make it, then that would probably be the straw.
Or we can do it on Monday, the week after.
We could do it on Monday, and then I could talk about the lunch.
Yeah.
Monday, I will be in Park City.
October 1. Okay.
All right. We'll figure it out.
All right.
See ya.
Wanna start a business, but you just know how to code. Listen to John, Josh, and Derek as we figure it out. We are the EntreProgrammers, and we'll teach you straight up.